Hi, my name is Rashna Abdi and you're watching Madtalks by AdStreet.
Today, we have a very special guest with us, a very distinguished creative director. People call her the Queen of Reinvention and has a career span of over 20 years. उन्होंने बहुत सारे काम किए इस इंडस्ट्री में and lot of local and multinational clients she has worked on with great processes. Welcome to Madtalks, Rashna.
Thank you.
How are you?
Very well.
क्या कर रही हैं आजकल आप?
My own company, Vitamin C. C stands for content.
Okay, Vitamin C. C stands for content. Okay, fine.
Which can be lots of things. It's not just one thing.
Okay.
And so I'm broadening the scope of Vitamin C these days and also getting my house painted. So that's basically it.
So, Rashna, like over the period of time, आपने इस इंडस्ट्री में काम किया. You have led creative directions for lot of international clients, lot of local clients.
Yeah.
बहुत सारे international clients के बारे में तो मैंने बहुत कुछ सुना है आपके. बहुत सारे आपने काम किया उसके ऊपर. Not only in Pakistan but the other markets as well, South Africa, Middle Eastern market as well,
Yeah.
right? So, what unique challenges and opportunities comes around जब आप इतने international clients को locally काम कर रहे होते या international clients के लिए काम कर रहे होते?
So with multinational brands, it's a totally different ball game. At least it was for a very long time. The beauty of multinational brands is that their brand equity and their guidelines are set in stone. So you do not ever mess with that. And within those parameters, you can be as creative as you want, and it is creativity is possible. And at the same time, if you're working on, say, I worked on Aerial for Pakistan. I also worked Aerial for Africa, which is an 8-country project.
Okay.
And so the local insights have to be adhered to. So you kind of get to push yourself a little bit more and to understand what's going on over there, what's going on in their minds, what will resonate with that audience. And it's the same for Middle East. I worked for Middle East, for Aerial as well, for Safeguard. What else? Yeah. And did a Safeguard copy for China. So there's quite a lot. And the best part is that you get to, stretch your brain muscles and understand, okay, that's a different audience over there. This is a different audience and they're completely different to us. But yet, keeping within the brand guidelines, how do you make something that resonates for everyone? And sometimes it was working on an idea that would fit across the board. So there would be maybe slight executional tweaks, but the overall idea would be the same. And the insight had to be the same. And yeah, so it's very strategic. It's very strategic work at the end of the day.
So the creativity and strategy comes along.
Of course. I mean, and I got into advertising at a time where creatives had to be strategically inclined. They had to be strategically strong. You could not be that. And you had to be very, very disciplined in your approach. And the best part is that, so I got my I learned everything on P&G.
Okay.
Fantastic client in those days. Absolutely amazing. And thanks to that, I made lots of contacts in the region as well, and we would often exchange notes. But the best part was I was able to apply all
to the local market.
To the local market, and it works.
So, so there's a question: how you remain authentic in the creative approach, when you're setting a creative direction for the local market with all the international approaches? How it's possible to remain really authentic with the creative idea?
Yeah, now authenticity is a buzzword these days.
Okay.
It is, and it's not difficult to do. You just have to make sure that you have a solid insight that you're working with, that your idea is locally relevant. At the same time, ideally, it should be globally acceptable.
Okay.
But it has to be locally relevant. It has to be born out of here. The only way to do it is, one, I would just advise creatives to stop looking at what India is doing. अच्छा उन्होंने ये किया है, and
पड़ोसी क्या कर रहे हैं?
पड़ोसी क्या कर रहे हैं? Their entire half the time
मुझे लगता है रशना कि हमारी ना इंडस्ट्री अप्रोच नहीं, ये हमारी जाती अप्रोच है, हमेशा हमें हमेशा लगता है पड़ोसी
क्या कर रहा है,
दूसरा क्या कर रहा है,
एक एजेंसी में बैठे हुए हैं तो दूसरी एजेंसी में क्या हो रहा है, अरे भाई forget about that, now you focus on yourself,
you focus on what you're doing.
So but yes, I mean I think it's about finding locally relevant stories that will resonate, that stories that actually fit your brand as well. Does it work for your brand? Is it just a story you've come up with, but it's like about,
is it working for your brand? Yeah,
is it working for brand? Is it putting your product at the center?
Oh yes.
Is it, because you've got to keep the client's business objective in mind as well.
True,
it's not
true,
just
it's not आपका शौक नहीं पूरा.
Exactly. So we've got to be honest with ourselves as well. And I think one of the challenges I used to face at times was that, we'd be working with these young creatives and they would come, so I have this reference. It's like, please put that away, please. What's the idea?
What's the idea?
Like, what's the idea? Tell me the idea. I don't want to see references. And then they would make this beautiful mood board and reference. No, does it make sense on a Word document?
On a Word document, yeah.
It needs to make sense on a plain, bare Word document. If it doesn't make sense there, it's not going to make sense anywhere else. Then it's just आप फिर शशके ला रहे हैं, बिला वजह के शशके.
So मुझे एक बात बताएं, देखिए, so it's obviously कुछ चीजें तो obviously हम लोगों को अंदाजा है, but you being on the वो कहते हैं वो आपके बिल्कुल engraved है जो strategic creative approach. So do you think के creativity inborn होती है, or you have to make someone creative?
Oh, both.
Okay.
It's both. The best example I can think of is like when, if you look at 5 children, pick 5 children and you give them a piece of paper and some coloring pencils and say, draw something, they will all draw something. And they will draw with abandon and they will be super imaginative, right? As we grow up, we kind of let that go and we're like, acha nahi, log kya kahenge? What if somebody says anything? And we kind of suppress our own imagination and our own innate sense of curiosity. To be a good creative, you need to be intensely curious, always willing to learn, and be true to yourself. I think those are the 3 things. So it is inborn, but yes, you need to
understand. Okay.
Keep polishing it.
Keep polishing yourself.
Absolutely. I to date, I mean, I have to. You never stop learning. So.
Okay. With the shift of the digital media nowadays, how you see the future of traditional advertising? Is it left, or it's a question that has been cliched, but I want to know, what will be the next traditional advertising, maybe?
Oh, this is one of my favorite topics of conversation.
Oh, great.
So I don't think there's any difference between this. I don't differentiate between the two.
Okay.
Digital is just a medium. It's medium है बस.
It's a medium है, हाँ,
right?
हाँ.
It's
अब मिसाल के तौर पे अगर digital है, तो I just wanted to have a conversation with you कि भाई वो traditional और digital medium है क्या?
Okay, now then I would ask, my question is, what is traditional?
Exactly. Okay.
So what the future, the way I see it, is that it is nothing will actually change, yet everything will change. जहाँ billboards हम लोग देखते थे, whatever, जहाँ रोडों पे, as we're driving down, now for all purposes, as we're scrolling down our phone, and we occasionally stop at one post that catches our attention because of either the copy or the visual, and we will register that, and you go scroll. So your thumb is that gadi. Your page is your road, and your billboards, what used to be the billboard, is your post.
Wow, zabardast.
So
Great way to explain, mashallah.
If we say, oh, radio advertising, kaun karta hai? Yeah, there are streaming services coming up, right? There are ads on streaming services. So जहाँ radio ads एक ज़माने में शायद ज़्यादा होते थे, अब we need to think in terms of sound and create ads. We will be creating ads for streaming services. So
actually we are all पहले भी हम sensory model पे खेल रहे थे, आज भी हम उसी model पे.
तो वही है. It's just that the only thing is the medium has
shifted.
I think people have been crying about the death of advertising. When I started advertising, also लोग कहते हैं advertising is dead.
Okay.
It still hasn't died.
अभी भी लोग कह रहे हैं अब गई.
कहीं नहीं जा रही advertising. So जहाँ आप ads TV के लिए बनाते थे, अब आप digital के लिए ही बनाएंगे. The difference is that it will be split into 2, where you will make 15 seconds, 6 seconds, 10-second ads. जो टिकटॉक के लिए होंगे, जो आपके यूट्यूब के लिए होंगे, जो आपके OTT प्लेटफॉर्म्स के लिए होंगे, because they have ads now. So who says advertising is dead? You just need to rethink how you create that advertising. Yeah. And for more emotional brand building, engagement stuff, you will probably create content for them.
Zabardast.
And that's basically it. There is no difference. It's just merging.
It's just merging, convergence.
There's beautiful convergence happening, which I think is very exciting.
Wow. So, one brand you would love to reinvent for fun in this era, in this age.
Local.
Whatever. What do you feel like?
Oh, so I would love, like, I know this is, because I've worked with multinational brands, so I mean, much as I love working on them, but what I think India got right was that the local brands, the smallest, chote local brands are very well developed. So, for example, I would love to take a crack at, say, Pakula. I did actually do a film for Pakula. I'm super excited about it a few years ago, only because I really wanted to do that.
Which film?
It was a digital film.
Okay.
And it had vertical cut downs and all of that.
Okay.
Nothing, they didn't exploit it as much. That's a different story, but I was super pleased because I would love to do that. I would love to do, reinvent, I don't know, Kashi's medicinal brands, not the Jamashini.
Medicinal brand. Unani medicines.
Yeah.
Pehli dafa Pakistan mila raha hai.
Suduri or something like that. I would love to have, that's fun. That's
वो कहता है हमदर्द की सुदूरी खांसी में खाना है बहुत जरूरी.
You can do something unexpected there. How would you reinvent that for a young audience?
Do you think
that's a challenge.
Do you think ये वाकई में मसला है कि हम कुछ जगहों पे स्टेप रखते ही नहीं है? नहीं यार ये जो है लोकल बहुत लोकल हो रहा है.
Oh my God,
it's very local.
Oh my God, yeah.
So you think this is a problem that exists in our industry?
There is.
ये है for sure.
There's an innate elitism that is in our society. It is in all of us. थोड़ा बहुत हमें भी है. I agree. I will admit it.
Okay.
I've often been accused of being a burger, and I'm like, yeah, I am. But jokes aside, वो है थोड़ा सा.
वो है.
We want to be, attached to certain prestige
certain
projects.
Prestige.
And interestingly enough, I was talking to a former colleague in India, and they said, it's the same things happening here. They're like, all these young creatives they want to be with the big films, जो बड़ी फिल्में बन रही हैं, तो
okay.
एक वो मसला है.
So that's a problem. It's a global phenomenon, I think.
ये मसला हो गया है, but yeah, I think there are opportunities everywhere, and the opportunities I do believe often lie where you least expect it to. Expect them to.
So in this era of clutter, obviously पहले भी कभी clutter होगा और था बिल्कुल अलग शक्ल अलग थी clutter की, आज के clutter की शक्ल अलग है, right? But बहुत है. So in this, how you make a communication in a way that stays relevant to the audience for a longer period. क्या ऐसा हो सकता है? अभी भी पॉसिबल है कि कम्युनिकेशन है और लोग याद रखें जमाने तक या नहीं? क्योंकि पिछले कुछ सालों में we have what we have seen, great ads बने मगर उनका जो attention span है थोड़े दिनों में खत्म हो जाता है.
वो इसकी भी because for example I grew up at a time where there was only one channel.
Oh yes.
And so there was a captive audience and there wasn't that much advertising happening. So yes, we did probably retention was better. Now, if you look at it, there's so much information in our brains and we're being bombarded with information.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by screens. There are multiple TV channels, and then there's a phone, and there's something else, and then there's a lot of information gathering. And so retention is a problem.
Retention is a problem.
We often talk about, everyone has this attention span of a goldfish, and then average attention span is about 5 or 6 seconds, or probably less now. It's true. So it is harder to retain attention. I think it is harder, but it is possible. Again, I think it's consistency is the key.
Consistency is the key.
So if you want to retain attention, if you want to create that, you need to say the same thing again and again and again. So you need to be consistent.
So just taking this question forward, हमने कुछ international brands को ही देखा बहुत they have done some great campaigns like if you talk about Pepsi, you talk about other brands, right? बट वो हमें लगा यार ये व्हाई नॉट मेरी जॉन, अच्छा यार जबरदस्त, ये तो कुछ चीज़ इन्होंने क्रैक कर ली। और थोड़े दिन बाद हमें पता लगता है कि एकदम से कैंपेन चेंज हो गई, एकदम से एक ब्रांड फूड की तरफ आई, एकदम से वो फैमिली रिश्तों की तरफ आ गई, फिर थोड़े दिनों बाद वो फिर फूड की तरफ आ गई। सो दैट्स हाउ थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग। डू यू थिंक कि ब्रांड्स को ये जो कंसिस्टेंसी है मेंटेन करने के लिए कुछ करना है, या फिर ये कुछ डेस्परेट एफर्ट्स हैं मार्केट में, उन्होंने देखा है ये चीज़ अच्छी है, आजकल ये चीज़ अच्छी चल रही है तो इस तरह से कर लेते हैं? What is the reason behind it?
So with multinational brands like that, so whether it's Pepsi, whether it's Coke, they have certain platforms that they play with. So they will cover all those touch points every single time, every single year. The brand equity doesn't change. What the brand stands for and the tonality of the brand, that is very specific to each of those brands.
Okay.
And you will be able to, therefore, even if it's Coke is doing something on food and so is Pepsi, you know there are two different brands. Yeah. There's no confusion between the two.
Yeah.
So I don't think, I don't think that that's the issue. Consistency in the sense that agar, if you have taken, say for example, the brand has taken a track on, trying to think of something right now, men cooking in the kitchen.
Okay.
Because lots of brands have done that. You need to be consistent with that for a bit.
Like a registration.
Do it once and then
registration is important.
Yeah. If you have a particular idea, you can change the stories. But if you've got this particular idea that you have or a brand equity, you've got to stick to it.
So, Rashna, tell me one campaign that was too crazy to get approved, but वो हो गई.
या हो गई या नहीं हुई?
जो हो गई आपकी approve.
अच्छा, ये तो think. जो नहीं हुई है, there was this one, and I think it's top of mind right now because there's a Slice ad running on TV, and there was this Slice campaign we'd worked on, and it was a total shift from what was happening with the Kareena ad. And they were fun. There was a series of 15-seconders. It was product at the center, but there was this quirkiness there. It was very young as well, and it was almost approved, and it didn't get approved at the last minute because one person didn't have an issue with it. But local and region were fine. They were very happy with it. But so that I think I wish that had been approved.
Okay.
Crazy that it did get approved. सोचना पड़ेगा.
Okay.
बहुत सारी चीजें, बहुत सारा काम हुआ.
So what advice you would give to the brand, any brand who is hesitant to, venture into a creative idea? Or an innovative idea, innovative approach I'm talking about, right?
It depends on why they're so hesitant.
So what
chances are?
So you have been through, like you have discussed these things over and over in your career. Why they are hesitant? What do you think? What the reason?
Well, chances are either it's not entirely on the brand's equity. It's not entirely addressing the brief. It's not keeping the product at the center. Product has to be at the center. So I don't buy this stuff. कि वो पूरी राम कथा आपने बना दी this thing and the product comes right at the end. Rubbish. Please don't do that. That's why things get rejected. So, and there is a way of keeping it at the center and yet creating a great story, a memorable story. So yeah, that's probably why most brands shy away from it. And also these days with the market situation and the economy being what it is, most brands I feel would end up playing safe. And I don't blame them. But within those parameters of safety, we can push the button.
We can push the button.
We can push the boundaries a little bit.
So what is the funnest feedback you have ever received on a campaign?
Oh, this is an easy one. So I was sitting at this client's office with my creative director, and I was there as the lead, and we'd worked on something that the CEO had not seen, and he had a very specific way of approaching things. And it was a local brand. Local brands have done very well, and the brand team had said, "नहीं ये करना है." उस हिसाब से हमने कर दिया. So like, I don't know whether it's going to get approved, but they're saying it. So you go and you present it, and the CEO, is a much older guy, looks at us and he goes, "This is yuck."
This is yuck.
This is yuck. But he was such a cute old man that my CD and I just started laughing. Like, he said, ha ha ha, yes, this is Yak. Like,
Okay.
And then he started laughing, and it was just, we kind of moved on, and 2 hours later, we walked out with an approved idea that we did on the spot. But,
so
yeah,
this is, ये तो हो गया fun वाला part, किसी भी meeting में, ये तो fun होता है. What is your go-to excuse to, when you need to escape from a boring meeting?
Oh, that अगर पता होता है तो so we had a code back in the office, and the three of us, and that if you need to be rescued. And if you need to be rescued, you say, somebody would come and say, there's a call from the region.
There's a call. Oh, the region, sir. Like, thank you.
Oh, sorry. There's a call from the region. So this was our go-to thing. It was call from the region. So हमेशा गोरा बचा लेता है हम लोगों को किसी तरीके से. मतलब उसको कोई कुछ कह नहीं सकता. कोई कुछ कह नहीं सकता बिल्कुल. Of course, वो region से call आ गई क्या? Okay. So this was our go-to thing.
Just tell me any hobby or passion you're currently pursuing that might surprise us all.
So these are not new hobbies. I have a lot of hobbies, but so one of them is geometric art, sacred geometry. Okay. Which goes a lot deeper as well. And because I like art, I love going to art galleries. I buy art. I draw.
तो आप अपनी roofs को माइकलएंजेलो की तरह तो नहीं वो बना लेती हैं?
The painting is being done by professionals. Okay. Yes. This is just something I do in my free time. The geometric arts. The geometric art.
You must have seen the work of Imran Mir as well. The geometric art.
Different kind of geometric art. Okay. That's a different kind of thing. This is different. And I also like languages, so I know a bit of French, so I try to brush up on my French every now and then. And
तो गुस्से में किसी को फ्रेंच में कुछ कहा जा सकता है नहीं क्या? और उसको समझ भी नहीं आएगा.
नहीं समझ आएगा.
सही है, ये भी अच्छा है.
फारसी में भी गालियाँ दे सकते हैं.
अरे यानी कि आपको 2-3 लैंग्वेजेस आती हैं.
Yeah, very bad.
तो ये हमारे
good at either of them, but yeah.
So languages गालियों के लिए सीखी थी या उसके बाद?
I thought French was a really beautiful language, and I wanted to learn it. And उसके अलावा I'm a neuroscience nerd, so I read about neuroscience all the time, and I think our neural networks are fascinating.
Okay. ये तो बहुत कुछ है, तो आप बहुत सारे काम कर रही हैं इसका मतलब.
हाँ, कुछ ना कुछ करते रहते हैं.
क्या बात है, जबरदस्त. So the industry future. You've been a part of this industry for a great period. So in your opinion, what is the industry future, you think?
In a nutshell?
Yeah, in a nutshell.
I think we need to go back to basics and understand what made things work, what is advertising is all about, but then we need to apply it to the future, which is all digital. Okay. And it's think in terms of like I said, digital ads, content, activations. What can we do with activations? Data is huge. What can we do with technology? Okay. Technology is beautiful, and it's there to serve us. It can make our lives a lot easier, and we can have fun with it. So yeah, technology, data, digital. But it's the same thing, same principles that we always worked on, just need to be applied in a different way. That's all.
What one campaign you hate most? आपकी?
अपनी?
हाँ.
हाँ. So I was notorious for सब कुछ हो गया ना, then I would like move on. अच्छा ये तो हो गया ना.
हो गया.
So this reminds me of the time when we were with a very big multinational client, and I was with my boss, and this guy was there, and like baat ho rahi thi, and there was like a little meet and greet type of thing happening, and he said, so what's the one campaign you worked on that you love the most? And I thought to myself, I said, I can't think of anything that I really, really love, because wo to ho gaya na, it's already done with. So jo bhi hoga, the next campaign I work on will be my favorite one. And he just looked at me, he goes, and he after a point of like, there's a dead silence, like who the hell says this? I said, I do like this honesty, and I thought, oh, thank God.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you can't name.
I don't hate anything.
मतलब कभी कभी होता है ना कि यार नहीं यार क्या ये काम नहीं करते.
I'm just thinking क्या था. Oh, I'm sure होगा सब there.
And what do you love most? कोई ऐसा चीज जो आपको लगता है कि यार this is something कि अगर मेरे एडवर्टाइजिंग के 20 साल करियर का कोई हाँ एक थिंग पे मुझे एक चीज से मुझे प्राउड है कि मैंने की थी.
Try to think. So I worked on a Pepsi brand book with the region, which I really enjoyed. So I really like working on brand books. It sounds very weird, but I genuinely think.
Because I think ये बहुत scientific, बहुत आसान काम नहीं होता है.
And I worked on that. That was fun. The work I did for Africa.
Okay.
Because the experience was unmatched and it was challenging as hell, but it was there was a lot of learning that happened as well. Totally different ball game. And it resulted in, it was at that time the highest scoring copy for all of Africa.
Wow.
And it was a really big deal. And I really was very happy with that. Some of the work I did on Head and Shoulders.
Okay.
Enjoyed that.
Okay.
I think that is
okay. So with this, I think it's time to move to the Mad Fire round. You're on for it? Okay.
Yep.
So, what's more stressful, a client revision or Karachi's traffic?
Oh, Karachi traffic.
Okay.
Easily.
One word to describe your creative philosophy.
It's a fun. I don't know if I have one word to describe my creative philosophy.
You can pass.
Curiosity, I guess. Curiosity. I am a very, very curious person, and I think, yeah, curiosity has to be the key behind any creative work.
Great. Big budget or limitless creative freedom?
Limitless creative freedom. Budgets don't matter. I think these, this whole thing of these huge big budget productions happening, I think is, yeah, you don't need that.
One person, dead or alive, you would like to brainstorm with?
Ooh. Oh, I know. That would be Steve Jobs, because so most people think of Steve Jobs as a tech genius. I think he was a creative genius.
Okay.
He used technology to make all his creative dreams come true, but he really was a creative genius, because he imagined things that, okay, let's put lots of music in this little device. iPods device. Let's put 1,000 songs in there.
And that was something.
Let's create a phone with everything in it and no buttons. Let's create a really colorful computer. So I think he was a creative genius, and even the advertising that accompanied Apple, right from the start, the 1984 ads, to the later ones. So
that was creative freedom.
They were wonderfully creative ads, but they were all coming from him. So yeah, I think he's a creative genius. I would just probably sit there and say, okay, teach me, oh sensei. That's what I would say.
So वो कहते हैं ना, वो तो मीम होती है अगर हमारी, तो हम बनाते हैं भाई बाबा स्टीव जॉब्स, बाबा स्टीव जॉब्स के साथ. ठीक है.
Amazing man.
So if you weren't in advertising, what profession would you choose?
Probably, I would have been writing. I would have stuck with. I'd probably be a writer, or I would probably still be in production, because that's what I was doing before I joined advertising. And so I would be doing that. What I would eventually like to do when at some point is so I have an idea for a dhaba, which I really want to do.
Oh, acha.
I have all the research, sab kuch kaam hua, but at some point I want to end my career running this dhaba on one side and writing on the other side, and just.
क्या बात है, जबरदस्त. So one buzzword you want to ban from advertising?
Buzzword?
One, if you could ban one buzzword from advertising.
Out of the box. Please don't mention that word ever again. Out of the box.
Okay.
Actually, out of the box. Hatke. Terrible words.
One Pakistani ad you wish you would have made?
Okay, there are quite a few. There's a lot of good advertising, good stuff that's also been done, contrary to popular belief. So, okay. So, do you remember the telephone ad?
Oh, yes.
Everyone knew the number, right?
0900786001. Okay.
There you go.
Yes.
So, that's a great example of an ad that went viral at a time when nobody knew what going viral even meant.
Wow.
And
Exactly.
everyone knew it. Everyone knew the number, and it was very smart.
I don't know. They were so creative at that time. मुझे एकदम से एक चीज याद आ गई उसके ऊपर. When we were in university, I think university का start था. तो लोग आए, उन्होंने बोला यार क्रूज पे जा रहे हैं. मैं कहा कौन से क्रूज पे जा रहे हैं? कहला टेलीफन के क्रूज पे जा रहे हैं. मैं कहा ओके फाइन. तो हमने क्रूज देखा, तो हमने क्रूज तो बहुत जबरदस्त होता है. ओके. तो जब हम गए तो वो एक किमाड़ी के गंदे पानी में एक शिप थी जिसके अंदर वो जिंगल चल रहा था 0900786101 टेलीफोन. And it was like they used to do activations at that time. वो young लोगों को लेके जाते थे. I don't know क्या क्या करते थे.
But, वो like it's just, but again, like it just went viral for all purposes. It's went
उस time का viral.
There's another ad. For some reason, it's coming to my mind. So it was on TV when I was a child, and it was probably the first time a piece of fusion music was used, and it was unique. It was completely unique, and the reason I say this is because I would love to be a part of something that was being done for the first time, and that ad was बचपन का हमें याद है अभी तक. It was a tea brand called Pearl Dust.
Pearl Dust, oh yes.
It was a Unilever brand, and they had a song called Humma Humma with Alan Fakir and Mohammad Ali
Sheikhi. Okay.
And it was the first time. I don't think fusion music had ever been done before that. You know, it's folk and pop together, and it was really smartly done, and it was way before its time. You know, I don't think that it was only about a decade later when Junoon came in and started doing something similar. But yeah, so that was a smart way of doing it, because it also, again, it wasn't just doing it for the sake of doing it. They were talking to a particular audience, because Pearl Dust was a dusty, which was for Sindh, etc. So
इतनी अच्छी इन्फॉर्मेशन के साथ मैं मैट फायर राउंड कैसे खेलूं आपके साथ?
Sorry, मैट फायर. I know. I
नहीं मगर नहीं
let's go back to मैट फायर. I'll be very short.
I'm enjoying actually, क्योंकि वो कहते हैं ना, I can't just आप stop you in between, क्योंकि information है, मेरा content है भाई. It's okay. So a brand you would like to rebrand from scratch?
I think I answered that question.
Really?
Yeah, it came up before, so it was. I would love to do the local brands, you know.
Okay.
Things like the Karshi brand.
Karshi, oh yes.
Things like Tibet Snow.
Tibet Snow.
You know, like that sort of stuff. Like
Guy soap. Guy soap was very good, by the way. Like, that was ahead of time.
Those are the ones like.
You remember?
That's where all the potential. I really do feel अगर कुछ मजे का काम करना है ना, वो इन brands पे होगा. And imagine reinventing those.
Oh. बट वो कहते हैं ना कि कभी कभार जैसे गाने रीइन्वेंट होने के बाद ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज होता है. बाय द वे, इतनी बड़ी ऐसी चीज जो ऑलरेडी इन्वेंट हो चुकी है, उसको जब रीइन्वेंट करें, वो अच्छी निकले, ये बड़ा रेयर होता है कभी कभार. लाइक अभी आप बात कर रही थी तो आई जस्ट केम अक्रॉस, एकदम से मेरे जहन में आया गाय सोप वाज, वो क्या एड था, वो एक गाय, व्हाट अ गाय, वो एक्चुअली वो अपने पीछे वाले पैर से ना उसके बॉम्ब को खोलते, एंड दैट्स but everybody remembers, yes.
So yeah, but the really truly local brands, the small local brands, those are the ones who have been around for decades. Those are the ones that like to.
So what's your secret weapon when you face a creative block?
Oh, that's an easy one. I walk.
Okay.
I walk. So back when I was at the office, I used to go on the roof and I used to walk around, like put my headphones on. Even at home, I do the same thing. If I'm anywhere else, I do the same thing. It helps me think, and it kind of like breaks the
the block.
The block, yeah.
So wonderful conversation. मजा है आपके साथ आज डिस्कस करके चीजों को. Anything you want to share? Any piece of advice you want to give to the newer generation?
Yeah. So whether you're a creative or anyone else, I think I understand why they would want to work from home and have creative freedom, etc. But there is a certain merit in going through the rigor and being disciplined about it. Going to an agency and you get there and you start work at 10, you finish at 6, and yes, there'll be late nights, and yes, there'll be tough situations, and yes, there'll be tough people to deal with. But that's all part of the learning curve. If you want to learn and grow as a professional, as a human being, you need to be able to handle those situations. You need to be able to handle those people. If you want to learn advertising, really learn the craft and the business of advertising, more importantly,
the business.
You need to be in that agency and absorbing everything. Get yourself a mentor. Always have a mentor. I all my life I've had somebody to turn to and say, okay, tell me. What do you think? What should be my next step, etc. Or this is the problem I'm having. It's, anything of that sort. So you need to be able to do that. And you never stop learning. Never stop learning.
Great. It was a lovely conversation. Thank you very much for being a part of us today.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you.